This is the 2023 Land Rover Defender Trophy Edition. It has a sticker price of $96,475, and I'm going to show you what you get for that price if this is something you might want to buy or simply want to know about. It starts out with the Land Rover Defender 90 P400 X Dynamic SE. Yes, that is a mouthful. And there are quite a few additions made to the exterior, to the off-roading capabilities, and even performance. So quite a bit going on here. We're going to dive into exactly what we have here. I borrowed this model from my friends at Land Rover of Shreveport, and if you're saying to yourself, of the 250 that are being made, I'd like to have one for myself, check out the link down in the description of the video, and you can learn more about how you can come to Land Rover of Shreveport and buy this very Defender. The exterior color without the wrap is obviously Fuji white, but then you have the heritage-inspired yellow wrap right here. At least that's what Land Rover is calling it. I call this more of the yellow right here than this, but it is what it is. And one thing that is pretty cool here, if you're competitive, when you buy one of these, it comes with an invitation for two to the North American Defender Trophy Race. So that's pretty cool. You also have the extended black package. You're going to have a lot of black exterior here all over the vehicle. We're going to see things on the hood right here. And there's a lot of gloss black. If you like gloss black, well, you'll probably be very happy as to what you see here. As you look at the vehicle, not only here on the front end, but working its way around onto the fender flares, and something that is kind of unique here, just giving it, just not the typical look, is going to be this little area right here. You might not think much of that, but that does set it apart because it's something you're not going to see on a lot of other vehicles. Obviously, that's going to continue its way on to the side view mirrors. Those are power folding side view mirrors and power adjustable, but I want to show you that they do fold in. You can see the turn signal indicator is built into those side view mirrors, and you will also find the heated windshield washer jets, the heated seats, and the heated steering wheel here within the interior. I'll show you where the button is to activate the heated steering wheel. It's right here, kind of easy to find because it looks like a steering wheel with some bacon wrapped around the bottom. You will also find the roof rack, a deployable ladder right here. That's very nice. I believe this has a load-bearing capability of 300 pounds, so obviously there's a lot of advantages to that in a multitude of ways, and it's not that hard to get it out of the way. Obviously, you can fold it back up here. I don't know if I can do that one-handed, but let's see if I can do this one-handed just to show you. There we go. That obviously it does fold up and back into place. And one thing that the Defender can boast of, at least this Trophy Edition, that the Jeep cannot even boast of, 11.5 inches of ground clearance. It has the air suspension package, so it's going to allow it to be able to raise really high to make it really kind of the ultimate off-roading vehicle, even though a lot of people will say that it's not so capable, but they probably haven't tried to take one off-road. They're just saying what they say because someone else said it. So you're going to have the premium LED headlights, the signature daytime running lights. Nice look here that really fits the Defender look with those blinkers turned on right there. And then something that will be helpful on the trail when you're out in the middle of nowhere, the fog lights down here on the lower portion of the bumper area. And the good thing here is that while you don't have a very large grille here and here, right here, it starts all the way right over here and works its way all the way across. There is a lot of air going in for that 3-liter 6-cylinder that's under the hood. Forward-facing camera, the Defender logo, and obviously a lot more going on here, even though not everything is functional here. This is all decorative right here, as is the vent. That should be made functional in some form and fashion just because of the way that it looks. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. The Defender logo there with the gloss black portion on the top of that area. And obviously this all-wheel drive Defender is a mild hybrid version. It has the 3-liter 6-cylinder here under the hood that puts out 395 horsepower, 406 on the torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And what about those all-important MPGs? Well, let's go take a look and see for ourselves. Very easy to do that here right on the sticker. For those of you that like to see the window sticker, there it is. You might as well pause the video right now if you can see all of that. But 18 city, 23 highway, 20 combined, and 5 gallons of gas is what you should use for every 100 miles you drive, at least according to Land Rover. And on the tire and wheel size, we're gonna have 255 on the width, a lot of tread there to help on-road and off. The 60 series sidewall right there, wrapped around a 20-inch gloss black wheel. That's going to be at every single corner. And obviously you're going to have some mud flaps here to help out with things for obvious reasons. Pretty good size too, as you can see right here. Perfect for what you need when you're off-roading. Also going to have the tow hooks or recovery hooks here. So when you're pulling out the Jeeps out of the mud, yep, they're right here. It'll make it super simple. Defender logo right here with the Trophy Edition. And right here, look at that, 1 of 220. Very interesting to know that. That'll tell you something unique about the vehicle. If somebody walks up behind you, well, they're gonna know what all is here and what's going on with the vehicle. Let's talk a little bit about what you'll find in the interior. The rubber cargo mat here, the load space mat. You're also going to have the rubber mats here within the interior as well. And for obvious reasons, because you don't want a lot of plush carpet and everything like that to get dirty and muddy. So obviously that makes a big difference. And as you can see, there is a hitch receiver for towing back here. You can tow up to 8,201 pounds according to Land Rover, and you have 15.6 cubic feet of cargo capacity. Let's see if I can put this other seat down here and show you how to maximize cargo space. That front passenger side seat's a little too far back, so it won't go all the way down, but you can see here what happens. That's how you're gonna maximize your cargo capacity. And the Safari windows are back here as well. In most cases, it's probably going to be more of a, I don't know, concrete jungle than anything to look out in the big city, because I don't know how many people are actually going to take these off-road, but they are very off-road capable nonetheless. And if you're wondering what's in the red bag right here, well, you have everything you need if you need to use the winch on the front of the vehicle, pull somebody out of the mud, whatever the case is. Might be the better situation in some cases. You're also going to have the triangle right here, that reflective triangle. I'm not going to get it out right now, but it's in this little box right here. Very easy to use, very easy to operate. And if you're wondering what's in here, this is the air hose. It's going to connect to the onboard air compressor so you could air up tires or whatever. In fact, it even has some of the little connections here that you could use for that. As you can see, depending on what you need to air up, it even has a needle right there if you needed to air up a basketball for somebody. If they were going to tell you something, I want to tell you that really is kind of funny about that. You could fit 15 basketballs back here, or 15.6 basketballs, because a basketball is the size of a cubic foot, or a cubic foot is the size of a basketball. So if somebody has a bunch of basketballs in the back of their Land Rover Defender, they could use that needle right there to air up the basketballs if they start to go flat. And for rear seat passengers, there is the panoramic sunroof. Yeah, it does definitely make a difference, as well as the Safari windows. You can actually see out of those from the back seat, so that's nice and useful. And there is a reasonable amount of leg space back here. Depending on where the front seats are located, well, that can increase or decrease. And then going to have the rear air conditioning vents here on the center console. Also going to have a little bit of space here for storage of whatever kind of snacks or anything anybody wants right there. And obviously within the ebony interior back here, we're going to find the fold-down armrest with cup holders built in. As we take a look in through the front door, obviously having the exposed screws kind of gives that kind of Defender-ish feel and vibe to it, I guess you could say. And then fairly soft materials right here, so passengers put their arms on the armrest, or the driver over there on the driver's side, that is comfortable. And on the passenger side here, obviously you're going to have it on the passenger side, so you're going to have it over there on the driver's side as well. But seat memory, 3 different settings for seat memory there, and a nice large deep door bin. Heated and ventilated seats for the driver and the passenger, quite a bit going on there. Fully adjustable, very comfortable seating. And then we'll hop inside here and take a look around. In fact, I'll close this door right here to kind of get rid of some of that noise out there. The grab handle right here, depending on the situation, well, the passenger may want to grab on to something. And then the Defender logo right here, and quite a bit of space. Cell phones can go there, whatever. That's there. And then the glove box right here. I always like to call these a gloveless glove box because I never find a glove in there. And the dual zone climate control. So you can see that you have the ventilated side of the seats there. We don't really need that right now Could actually use the heated, but we do have that there. Push on that again, and then the temperature comes back up. You can adjust the dual zone climate control here. And something interesting that I noticed here, it looks like you would push this button right here to change the fan speed, but how do you turn it back down? There isn't any way to do that right there. That's because what this does is actually activates where the fan speed is located on the switch right here on the dial. So when you push that, it lets you change the fan speed right there. You can go back to the temperature by pushing it a second time. Button right there, or knob I should say, for controlling the volume of the stereo and turning that on and off. And tell me if you like the style of shifter right here. I know this is nothing new. It's been in these Defenders for a few years now, a couple of years now, but do you like that? Would you rather see something on the column? Does it really matter? I'm always curious to know. And connectivity right here, talking about that for the first time as far as in the interior besides the cargo area back there. 12-volt power outlet, a couple of options on the USBs, and quite a bit of space down here. You do have the pass-through right here that goes quite far back, cup holders, and let's see what we have in the way of our center console. This is not the refrigerated console. That would actually be very useful out on the trail, I would say, if you were going to buy one of these, but not here. And then the upper console is going to have, well, let's see, does this actually have the motion sensor? I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. That kind of looked like it might be to open and close the shade up there, but you're going to use this button to open and close the shade, and this will open and close the sliding portion of the sunroof. Let's see if we can get that to work right there. Here we go, just to show you that that does open. So quite a nice feature. Doesn't open all the way, but enough to let some air in and maybe make it a little bit easier to see through there for anyone riding in the back seat. And in case you're curious to see what it looks like with the panoramic sunroof shade drawn forward, well, there you go. And taking a look in through the driver's side door, a few more accessories than what we saw on the passenger side. Obviously, you can control both side windows here. You do, again, just like we saw on the passenger side, have 3 different settings for seat memory and the settings for those power folding side view mirrors that we looked at earlier. Now, one thing that is a little bit of a surprise to me here, at least at this price point, is that you do not have a power adjustable steering wheel. It is adjustable, tilt and telescopically, but it's manually adjustable. Not necessarily a big deal, just so you know what is there. There's the power parking brake. That's how you're going to open the hood, and some more of those exposed screws around several different places. A better view through that pass-through I was telling you about earlier, and then we'll hop inside here. One thing I do want to show you real quick is, let's close the door right here. The difference in height. I've lowered it all the way down. What is the difference in that height when you raise it all the way up for an additional 3 inches of ground clearance? Well, I don't know how much you can tell of a difference on the screen. Hopefully you can see it, but it's raised all the way up on its air suspension now, in case you were curious to see exactly how that looks. And when you hop inside, you'll see the Defender 90 on the screen right there. Too bad it doesn't actually match the vehicle, but not necessarily a big deal. I don't think anyone's going to worry about that after the first couple of times, but in case you were wondering about that, yes, that is there. Very nice digital instrument cluster, easy to use, easy to learn. You can go through a lot of different information on the screen if you want to, depending on what you want to see. You do have your adaptive cruise control right here. We can turn the heated steering wheel on right there if you would like to. I don't know if I need to do that or not. It is rather chilly outside today. Controls for all of the lighting around the vehicle, whether it's the fog lights or the headlights, everything is there, and the blinkers, those things that a lot of people don't have on their vehicles because they didn't option them in to let people around them know what they're doing on the road. Controls for the front and rear window wipers and the 10.1-inch touchscreen. Now, I do want to give you a disclaimer here. You notice that flickering effect right there. That is not the fault of Land Rover or that screen. It's the fault of the shutter speed on my GoPro. Kind of hard to get away with that. Not sure how to fix that or if there is a way to fix that, but that's what you have. You've got your navigation right here. Very nice, very easy to use, very effective, very modern, to say the very least. You can pair it your smartphone, which I have done. I will give you an audio test of the Meridian sound system here in just a little bit. And you can also see the angle at which you're driving right here, depending on where you are. If you want to know the angle of your vehicle, that can be helpful. And we'll go right here and take a look at some of the other information you have if you want to control things such as the seats, the heated and ventilated seats. Well, you can do that right here, and you can either warm it up or cool it down. I'm not going to do either today, even though the warmth would probably be a lot better. But there is a lot here. And I like the fact that you don't have to go into reverse to use your cameras. You have the 360-degree view camera right here to look all around the vehicle. If you're off-road and you're wondering, well, is there something I need to be aware of around me? You can take a quick look around without having to even get out of the vehicle. And you also have the overhead view right here that gives you a live view of what's going on around with the vehicle. And you see these little options right here. That gives you the different camera views around the vehicle depending on what you want to see. If you want to see at the front, we go right here to the front and we do that. It's all there. You also have off-road right here that's going to give you the perfect view of what's going on with the vehicle, and then towing as well. Let's take a look there. So kind of one-touch options of sorts, but a very nice screen, very easy to use. And like I said, let's give you an audio sampling of that Meridian sound system. And I'm going to use audio off of one of my videos so I don't get a copyright hit, but let's let that play for you. I don't know how well my lapel mic picks that up, but just trying to give you the best that I can to let you know what it sounds like. It is a very good sound system. And just real quick to show you what you have here as far as actually seeing the progress of the vehicle. You have the all-terrain progress. You have torque vectoring by braking. There is so much here to help off-road, kind of just the ultimate situation in all ways, but it does give you a live view of what's going on with the vehicle. You can see the front wheels turning there, at least I hope you can. And again, I apologize for that flickering. Maybe this will give you a little bit better view now that I kind of brought it a little bit closer. But if you need to know which direction the tires are turned, let's just say the steering wheel is turned like that, it looks like it's straight, well, you can see on the screen that your wheels are not pointed straight, so that might keep you out of trouble. Okay, we're going to get on the road for the test drive. I am going to turn the heated steering wheel on just to see how warm it gets out of pure curiosity. Now, there's obviously a lot here that we haven't covered because, well, we don't want to make the video too long, but I'll try and put some of the specs down in the description of the video if you want to see more. But this is a super capable off-road SUV, even more so than the typical, more traditional versions of the Defender 90 or any other Defender for that matter. So obviously with the additional ground clearance and all of the different capabilities of what it has, it really will do a great job. And the good news about that is that you might say, well, I'm not going to go off-road with a Defender. Well, you know what? All of those things still come in handy. Hey, check that out. Did you see that person right there that pulled out in front of me? They just wanted a really up-close look at the front end of the Defender. You know, if I'd been driving faster, they would have had the ultimate close-up look. It's amazing what we find on these test drives with good drivers around here anyway. Before I was distracted by a bad driver. The advantage to everything here, as far as the torque vectoring and the all-wheel drive, everything that's here, is that it benefits in every driving situation, everyday driving. It will make a big difference in the respect of driving in the rain. If you live in an area where it's flooded, maybe you live in an area where it's prone to do that because of low lying or whatever the case is, poor drainage, all of those features are going to come in handy. You can raise the suspension all the way up and take advantage of that. It's pretty neat what they can do here, but a lot of people don't think about that just because they're off-road capable doesn't mean that you have to take it off-road to take advantage of those capabilities. The steering wheel is heating up nicely, by the way. It's not too much, it's not so hot that I need to turn it off. I like that. We'll see if it gets any warmer over the course of time here. But one thing I did want to let you know about is that when you get up to a certain speed, the air suspension will return to stock ride height. So in case you were wondering about that, you can't just drive around all the time with it at the highest level. So if you're curious about that, that's what it is basically. But overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. And one thing that I must say here, for something that's so off-road capable, I like the fact that you still have a very smooth and compliant ride compared to what you might expect. So overall, a very enjoyable driving experience, and something else that I know for a lot of people out there that might say, you know, Tom, I would love to have one of these vehicles, but I still have my 1990 whatever you might have. And you're saying to yourself, or saying even to me, hey, Tom, I don't know if I'm ready to try and learn all that new technology and everything that's there. How hard is it to learn? It's really not difficult at all. I mean, keep in mind, for those of us, even someone such as myself, I had to learn how to use these features and all the technology that's here and everything at some point in the past. Some of these vehicles I'm still having to learn on because I haven't experienced it before. I haven't done a video on those vehicles before. It's not that terribly difficult to learn. So let's do a little acceleration test here. Kind of a nice opportunity just because we have somebody who I need to get in front of, so we'll take advantage of that 395 horsepower. I got to about quarter throttle there to get around that truck back there. So just a nice little opportunity to show you the acceleration capabilities. Now, I am going to do one more thing here just a little bit up the road and give you a road noise test and just see what it sounds like. I won't talk or anything like that. We'll get on a rough stretch of road where hopefully my tongue doesn't get twisted any worse than it already has, and let you listen. Okay, one thing I wanted to do is give you a real life road noise test. So I'm gonna get in the worst of the two lanes here, the right-hand lane, and just let you listen, see what the road noise and the wind noise is like. I don't know how much of that my lapel mic is picking up, but the fact of the matter is that this is a really nasty road right here, very much washboarded out. Some of what's sitting back there in the back seat or in the cargo area, the rear cargo area, is kind of rattling around and making some extra noise. You're picking up some road noise, that's for sure, really more wind noise than road noise. And part of that is because it is a rather windy day. But in case you're curious about that, well, there is your answer. And that is what you get with the 2023 Land Rover Defender Trophy Edition for a sticker price of $96,475. Tell me what you think about that. Is it worth it? Is this something you would like to have? Always curious to know what you think. Got to say a special thanks to my friends here at Land Rover of Shreveport for loaning me this Defender Trophy Edition for the day. And a special thank you to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing or simply learn about, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.